So welcome to the 2019 edition of the Dubai event VriThink's Night Out. To have the great minds switched in the on mode.
You really just need a spirit of adventure.
They just keep doing the same thing, but they do it so well that we love it. We want to be a part of it. We want to have it because we know we can trust it.
The passion for discovery, the passion for explorer.
The speakers that you're going to hear tonight all have that great spirit of adventure.
Okay, everybody, this is an interactive session. So let's start off with me. I used to be a salesman, then I became a marketing person, then I became a business person, and more recently I'm a business consultant, although we don't like the C word, so I call myself a business advisor. But in my head, I am still a boat builder, because that's what I went to college and learned what to do in Southampton. But who in here is a small to medium-sized business person? Show of hands. This is an interactive session. Okay. Who is a big enterprise business person? PepsiCo. Don't know if you've heard of Amazon. Okay, big people here. Great. So you're going to be interested because this is a presentation about how to be successful in business. The rest of you, that's you guys here, and I don't care if you work doing stuff or are stuck in these things. The reason you're interested in business success is because it matters to this. A successful business can pay you more. So we're all interested now, right? Yes? Interactive session. Okay, so we now know why we're listening to this. It's nothing to do with technology. Every business has three challenges. There's the entrepreneurial challenge, where you try to work out what it is that somebody would actually pay you for. The second challenge is the engineering challenge, which is how do we make it, how do we design it, and how do we make it? And your third challenge is your administrative challenge, which is how do we get it to the customer and get them to pay you the invoice? These are the only three challenges, but the market is important. This is the market, okay? Now your leadership team, or you, if you're the business guys, you will not know what the market is. You might roughly know what the size is, or you might get the shape of the market right, but maybe the size wrong. You never get an exact perspective of exactly what the market is. But back in the 60s, these are the 60s, these two guys, Professor Miles and Snow, they wrote a book all about organizational structure and success. And they didn't tell you how to do it. They did the research to work out which kind of companies were successful. And the first one was the prospector. Now, the prospector company is led by a coalition or an individual who is highly charismatic, says, I'll tell you exactly what the market needs. You just follow me over this cliff and we will succeed together. They surround themselves by innovative people and they spend an awful lot of money inventing things that they are convinced people are going to want. Groundbreaking things. The first personal computer here from Sinclair, the Sony Walkman. Anybody remember the 80s? Tablets, laptops without keyboards, and even crazier things. These things are fantastic. We get excited about them. We think innovation, we think technology, we think it's great. The thing is, they're so sure they're right that when they're wrong, it can often absolutely destroy the company. Sony tried launching this thing twice, spent millions on it. The Amazon Newton, carefully airbrushed out of their history. And Virgin, they don't always succeed. So sometimes this belief in oneself can literally push you over the cliff, and it can be bad for business. The opposite kind of company is a defender. What they do is they look at what they do, and they understand what they do. They're kind of led by engineering types, and they work out how to get closer and closer and closer to perfection. And this does two things. The first thing it does is it drives quality up. And at the same time, it drives costs down. They do the thing that they do, and they keep on doing the thing that they do. It doesn't really change. I mean, look at this Rolls-Royce. In about 4 decades, it's exactly the same car. They just keep doing the same thing, but they do it so well that we love it. We want to be a part of it. We want to have it because we know we can trust it. And they're cost leaders at the same time as being quality leaders. BMW, the 3 Series, outsold all the other cars in its class for 4 years. But when the market moves on you, these guys are so embedded in what they do, they get left behind. CD comes out. Suddenly all the people pressing records are out of business. Who buys a textbook these days? It's all online. And when electric and diesel came along to drag railway carriages, steam trains were gone. So in the middle, the third company is the analyzer. They think about the market. They're driven by marketing people. They look at what's been launched by the prospectors, and they work out how to do it for less. They've got a load of smart people cracking it open and reverse engineering it, which is cheaper than innovating it in the first place. They come to market with stuff that they know works. Anybody remember Netscape? They were the people who invented the browser. Microsoft, they stole their operating system. This, it's just another Starbucks, isn't it? And everybody rushes out to buy an Asus computer, but they're doing really well because they know that the product's going to sell because they've studied the market. However, sometimes it's just not as cool as the original. I mean, who wants a Japanese Harley Davidson? So whilst it works, and it kind of does the job, it's still not the original. It doesn't have that spark. But analyzers succeed because they know what's going to sell in the marketplace because somebody else has already done it for them. The fourth company is the not so successful company. These are called reactors. These are the sort of companies led by people who say, we are going to be an innovator, but by the way, we can't spend too much money on research. They say, we're going to be in charge of quality, it's going to be great. Where can we get the cheapest raw materials from? They're kind of torn in multiple directions. These guys, do you remember these guys? They used to dominate the desktop computer market. Now they're a business consultancy. These guys, they used to make all the servers, and now they are controlling people's air conditioning and heating systems. This was the top-selling beer in America. They're all gone. These guys sold more combine harvesters in the world than anybody else. So, hands up, who works for a company or runs a company that is a prospector? This is the innovation section, guys. Okay, who works for a company that's an analyzer? Who works for a company that's a defender? Okay, the rest of you didn't put your hand up. You work for this company? Remember, this is an interactive session. Okay, so if you're running an analyzer, reactor, or you're in a reactor, well, if you're running it, you can change. So this is the thing to take away. If you're in the company and the company's not changing, maybe it's time for you to change. Step out of that company. So if you're feeling like this right now, because I've just shown you that you're working for the wrong company, you have to think now, how do I change, either change my company or change who I'm working for, because then we're going to be happy. Is that good? That's me.